Crystal Palace nil, Manchester United nil. That is a third goalless draw in a row for Manchester United. 0-0 against Real Sociedad. The game was already won. We'd already won that tie effectively with that 4-0 win in Turin. But then a goalless draw against Chelsea. Didn't perform really. We were okay, but looking back on that game, we didn't really turn up and we didn't really set out to win the game. But it's a point against Chelsea. And then it's a 0-0 tonight. And again, really poor tonight. Some of the passing in the first 15 minutes, by Maguire, Matic giving the ball away cheaply. The passing was so poor. And I keep using this word. I have been using this word a lot, but it's true. Urgency. There's no urgency in this Manchester United team. And one of the questions I asked myself, I said, well, this United team is on a good run, but the mark of a good team, the measure of a really good team, if you want to talk about titles or trophies, whatever, the measure of a really good team is how you respond to losing after you've been on a really good run. Now, tonight, it's one defeat now in 21, but a lot of those games have been draws, and let's not kid ourselves. We've not been performing at a really high level, and there were games during that sequence of wins where we weren't playing particularly well, but we were getting away with it, or we were scoring a late goal and we were saying that's character, that's the mark of a good team. But that's gone now. This team looks like it's sometimes they look like they're just going through the motions. I can't fault Luke Shaw tonight. I thought he was man of the match. As he seems to be every other game for us. He seems to be the player with the most energy. I'm not going to put it down to the players being tired, to the players being burned out, because I tell you something that frustrates me about this Manchester United team, and they've done it a few times over the years, going back, 12 minutes to go, and they start playing, they think, we're going to have a go. We're going to attack the game. And, I don't really understand that mentality. I'm not saying for the last 12 minutes they were absolutely peppering the Crystal Palace goal, but they were, they looked like suddenly they woke up. I was happy to see Bailly start tonight, but that means he won't start against Manchester City. And to be honest, it won't be a 0-0 against Manchester City, because this game will be very different than it was in the league at Old Trafford back in December. Manchester City absolutely rampant. Is it 20 straight wins in all competitions for them now, or 21 or something? So they are absolutely ruthless at the moment, relentless in how we have allowed them to, go. It's now 14 points clear. They're 14 points clear of us. Now, if you think about it, just a few weeks ago, just a month ago, we were level on points with them, and they had a game in hand, and we were probably thinking, well, if they had the game in hand and they win, it's 3 points. But let's try and keep the pace of them as long as possible. Easy. There you go. Have it, because we don't want it, because we don't want the league, because we don't want 21. I didn't believe. I feel like I say it every video that we were going to win the league, but I certainly thought we're gonna push them maybe till March, maybe till April, and then they sort of get away with it because they have got that experience. They have got, in my opinion, a better squad. And are we going to get the players that we need to take us to that next level? A lot of people will look at this game and blame Ollie and say, oh, it's tactics, it's the game plan, there's no identity. I agree with him tonight. I didn't know what the game plan was. I don't see any kind of pattern of play. But on Ollie, I think he does get a lot of unfair criticism, and let's have it out now. Manchester United, since Sir Alex, let's look at our positions in the league and where we finished. We finished 7th under David Moyes. 7th if I got that wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. 7th. Then we finished fourth under Van Gaal. Then we finished fifth. Then we finished sixth under Mourinho. Then we finished second. Then we finished sixth. Mourinho went, Ollie come in, we finished sixth. Then we finished third last season. This season, we have a chance of finishing in the top four. So we haven't. So forget titles, forget winning the league. We haven't been a top four team since Sir Alex left, on a consistent basis. So you know what? When you look at it, you go, we're not having a terrible season, but we're definitely in a terrible moment at the moment. Our form is really poor. We're drawing so many games. Yes, I think you got to give Ollie credit because he's made us a difficult team to beat. We are a difficult team to beat. Going back to my criticism of Ollie, I think he makes his changes too late. I think he has so much faith and loyalty in his own game plan and the players that he puts out there that he leaves tonight. 74 minutes before the first change, 74 minutes. And then he made another one at 76 a couple of minutes later. But is that's not enough time for it to impact the game for those players? And I think by that point in the games, we were never going to win this game tonight. And we just start games slow. I thought we'd got this out of the system, but we started the game so slow. The passing was poor. So many mistakes in that opening quarter of an hour. And I just think, now we're not scoring goals. That's three successive 0-0s. You could say, the Europa League. We've already qualified. So it doesn't really matter. But in the league, we're drawing so many games. It's almost like we beat Liverpool in the FA Cup and we thought the season was over. We've done it. We don't have to perform anymore. We've performed at such a high level here in this game that we could do anything. Well, you can't do anything. You prove that because you lost to Sheffield United. And I think that has had a massive impact on us because we haven't recovered. We haven't recovered from that. It's like all that momentum and all that confidence that we built just drained away because we lost to Sheffield United. And then we drew with Arsenal 0-0. And then we beat Southampton 9-0. Great. But then we threw away a 2-0 lead against Everton. And we threw it away in the 90th minute to draw 3-3. And then we couldn't beat West Brom. We were poor against Newcastle up until a second goal, and we won that 3-1. We were good in periods against Chelsea, but overall, didn't really look like we wanted to go out and attack the game and win it. We were happy to just not get beaten. And then tonight, just poor all over the pitch with the exception of Luke Shaw. And Henderson deserves credit because Palace didn't create a lot of chances. They had a chance towards the end, and Henderson did really well. It came out, and he made a good save for us, and fair play, And will Henderson be the number one next season? I'm not so sure. I don't know. I do like Henderson, but if he's looking for first team football and we can't give it to him, then good luck to him. I personally would like to see him be our number one next season because I think David De Gea. He's as good as a keeper as he's been, and I still think he has a lot to offer. I think he makes too many mistakes, and it's a big call for Ollie. Ollie's got to make that call. Does he stay loyal to David De Gea, or does he is he ruthless and does he say no? Henderson's my number one. That there's so many questions that need to be asked, but. 0-0, Palace did well tonight. I thought they played well. I thought they looked lively, but they really didn't go out to win the game either. It was poor from both teams. Palace will be happy with a point, but again, no urgency. There's no urgency, and it's just, again, another word I've used recently, casual. It's so casual. The way we play, the way we come out. And it is frustrating because we've allowed Manchester City to just run away with the league, whereas beginning of January, we looked like we were up for a fight. Is that all it takes? There is a fragility within this Manchester United team, and it's been exposed. We knew it was there anyway, but I thought, we're not playing really well, but we're finding a way to win, and that's the mark of a good team. But is that all it takes? Losing a game, and then that's it. All your confidence just goes. How do you get that confidence back? You have to respond. You have to react. Forget the Southampton game. Forget the 9-0. It means nothing to me. it means nothing to me. Fantastic, you've equalled the record that you set in 1995 against Ipswich. But what about all the other games? Scrappy tonight, really poor. And Manchester City will not play for a 0-0 draw. They will not play for a point. They've effectively won the league last night. And in case there were any doubts that they were going to win the league, we've just basically handed them. We've said, here you go. You've got one hand on the trophy. Why don't you put your other hand on the trophy? Because we're not good enough. We're not good enough. And the recruitment, I don't have faith that the recruitment will give us what we want or give us what we need in the summer. We need an out-and-out goal scorer. As much as I like Cavani, no, I don't know. I think he's only scored 5 goals for us. But then tonight, no one who's creating the chances, because we aren't really creating anything. We're not really. Luke Shaw had a chance. Wan-Bissaka did okay, but so disappointing. I am really disappointed with that performance. I could take drawing a game, I could take losing a game, but the manner in which we're dropping points now, we're not guaranteed second place, and now we're not guaranteed top 4, and it's sort of like all that work that we did in the first half of the season counts for nothing, really, if you don't get top 4. And I don't know. It's difficult to put your finger on what's going on, really, because we're not comfortable. We're not in a comfortable position. Leicester dropped points. Leicester dropped points at the weekend. We didn't take advantage of it. They dropped points tonight. We didn't really take advantage of it. We could have got a bit of breathing space. And Chelsea and Liverpool are playing tomorrow. And if one of those teams wins, then they're right back in the race for the top 4. West Ham aren't that far behind. We're not comfortable. So all that work for me that we did in the first half of the season at the moment will count for nothing if we don't get top 4. And I think we will get top 4, but the first half of the season, the way that the first half of the season finished, it promised so much more. Not that we were going to win the title, but that we were going to be in the conversation for a little bit longer. So I'm disappointed with all these changes because he made them too late for me tonight, and I'm disappointed with the result. But I'm just disappointed with the performance, the lack of urgency. The passing was poor. I feel like a broken record because I feel like I'm saying it every video now. Could just re-upload the previous video and just put a different score on. Well, let's do the same score. It'll be 0-0, won't it? So it's finished Manchester United. It's finished Crystal Palace 0, Manchester United 0. The next game we've got is the Manchester Derby. I'll be watching the Liverpool-Chelsea game tomorrow night, so I'll be doing a reaction to that for my sins. But until next time, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, why not subscribe? Leave me a like, and of course, if you haven't done so already, then leave any thoughts, comments and feedback on any of the other videos or this one. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon.